We're live. This is a special show. I'm sorry. All right. We're on. We're on now. We're on now, Chris. All right. Share the link with your homeboys, your dogs, your cats, your sisters, your brothers. We're live, and we're partying like it's goddamn 1992. My web show is live, and so my cat is meowing. So I'm gonna go tend to that little shit. Link on Facebook. I'm gonna send the notification to all my girls and boys before I actually get moving here. But we are live in living color. Bottom line, people, is we are here. This is going to be a special show. This is going to be, I don't know. All right, buddy, give me a break. I'm just kidding. I don't know. If you can't read, that's enough. Black Pride flag versus American flag discussion. I don't know about that right now for the show, but live now. We are live now, bro. We'll do something. Me personally, I don't want to get in. I don't want to really get involved with Confederate flag discussion over this, at least on this particular broadcast. There we go. I'm gonna grab my cat. Oh, he's outside. You're stealing. All right, so I'm back. I had to grab the cat. I can't leave him in distress for too long. Could get severely sick. Probably not. There you go. So everybody, you there? It says I don't have any viewers. I don't know if that's true or not. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of Chris Padilla for being a part of this broadcast. Being very proud of everybody. Cool, bro. As far as what the fuck? Anytime. I do want people to understand that this show is usually going to be an all, no holds barred type of deal. I mean, I won't. There's Scotty. Scott, show this is the cat room. $100 bundle of joy here. Here he is. It's my baby. Yeah. He wants to thank everybody who sent their thoughts and turn off the microphone, the hand mic for me. It's getting ridiculous. I can hardly hear myself think. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on 1 minute. All right, I just couldn't take that sound anymore. For some reason, the microphone for the webcam or not the webcam, but the microphone for the, the stick mic that I call it, this piece of shit, decided it was going to make a whole bunch of backfeed noise, and I couldn't take it anymore. Basically, this is my boy right here. Come here, Scott. Hey, get off of him. Alright, this is Scotty, everybody. He's the cat that everyone donated to, my $1,200 bundle of joy. He's doing pretty good right now, but it's for now. Hopefully it stays that way, because I can't really afford to keep fixing them.
She's already been fixed twice. Fixed medically once and deballed the first time and last time because you can only get deballed once. Alright, so, still watching? What the fuck? Still watching? Yeah, he is. He's pretty healthy. I don't know, man. Shit. Here's my link. No, you can't watch. You're gay. No, I'm just kidding. All I gotta do is click on the link that's on my Facebook, buddy. I did find out that Dawn watches some of the shows. It's kind of cool. She told me that the other day when we were talking. She asked me when I was going to broadcast again. It's kind of why I actually decided to do this tonight. Originally, I wasn't going to do it, but I decided, yeah, you know what? The hell. So, I'm hanging out with my little cat here, and we're relaxing, and, you know, basically, I want to let the world know that he's back. The man, the myth, the legend. My cat, the savior of the house. The guy that keeps the mice from going insane. Because if they come in the house, they're dead. That's about the only way he'll get them. Because he's not supposed to be an outdoor cat. Right? 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 Don't you give me the stink eye. See, for some reason, that's my baby right here. For some reason, when he watches shows with me, or does shows with me, he kind of likes to be the boss, you know. This is kind of why I put my other mic down, because I couldn't deal with that and hold the man at the same time. Just the baby! Hey, everybody. Scotty says, hey. Hi, Shar. Hey, Chris. Hey, Mike. Madia. Scotty says, National Structures. My favorite company. Yay! National Structures. National Structures. National Structures. Hey, who's your favorite? Hey, you like National Structures? You do? That's what I thought. He says National Structures. Yeah. You want to go visit your buddies? I'd like to put you in a box to Liverpool. We'll put you in a box. We'll get some cat food, some cat litter. You know, hopefully I make it. You know, it's only now about an hour and 40 minutes from here. Yeah, you'd get to the National Structures headquarters pretty quick. You'd be the star of the show. The only cat in there. You know, hopefully Mike's dog doesn't eat you, because I know he doesn't really care for cats. Shit. Yeah. You're welcome, bro. I have something wrong with my throat. I haven't bothered to have it looked at yet, but I probably won't either. Got to have my physical eventually, but apparently I'm due. Apparently. So it shows you where my mind is. No beers tonight. I'm tired. After the show, I think I'm going to go to bed because I have a long night ahead of me tomorrow. Got a bachelor party for my buddy, or my cousin, Dan Schrader. Good guy. He's the man, the myth, the legend. And he's getting drunk. No, I don't know. He probably will be. A long night, my man. Oh, I'll give you the link then. Stupid. All you gotta do is ask. Or you can look at my Facebook. It's the last thing you see me posted. Because I usually don't post live, you know, when I actually hit the start broadcast button. Very rarely do you see me actually active on a feed during a broadcast. There's been a couple times here and there, but I don't really like to be live on a feed, when I'm broadcasting because it kind of interferes with the show. Yes. And Scotty says when he's broadcasting, he doesn't like to be bothered. Hey, what? I don't know. I don't like your chances. No, I don't. I don't know. Oh. Scotty just told. Okay, I'll put you down. All right. Have a good day, buddy. See ya. Thanks for joining me. Scotty just told me he's sending a challenge out to Mike's dog. Actually, he wants to show Mike how he's training for his match against Miki, or whatever. I can't think of her name. Mike's dog, whatever it is. That's Scotty attacking our Yorkie. There she is. What is Mike's dog's name? I can't remember. There they are. You're watching a live wrestling match between my cat Scotty and Annie. This is a special in-show wrestling match. Looks like Annie she's down. It's going for a, looks like, there she goes. Thanks for joining us. You are watching a live wrestling match between my dog and my cat. Oh, Scotty with the left hook. He's going for the kill. He's going to go for the pinfall. Annie looks like she was going to go for a submission hold there. Annie with the submission. Nope. Scotty backs out again. Scotty looks like she's... Nope. What the hell? I'm losing. All right. There you go. Annie runs away. Out of campsite. We're watching this is part of the show, folks. I just want the whole world to see how Scotty has improved, and that's part of the reason I'm broadcasting. I am going to cover some topics tonight, but I just want the world to see how far he's come. There you go. He's got it. Oh, look at that. Oh. All right, we'll let them wrestle in peace while we talk this over. Scotty's challenging Mike's dog to a fight as soon as he's done conquering Annie over here. So, how's everyone been since I've been off the air? As far as the show is concerned, I will be back doing more regular broadcasts as soon as my work schedule calms down or I find a new job, one of the two. I've just been, I've been working 4 days a week, between 4 and 5 days a week, and not really having time to plan shows. Yeah, I'd like to do a couple weekend shows, but this weekend's not good, and next weekend's not good because I got a concert to watch live online. So that'll be around the same time that I usually broadcast. So. No show next week or this week, or this weekend rather. So I'm doing tonight. I should be back working Friday nights within the next couple weeks. So I'm not sure what my schedule is going to hold, but we'll figure it out. But I do want to thank everybody who sent their thoughts and prayers and their well wishes, or whatever it is you believe in, or just their simple thoughts on my cat's recovery. And I'd also like to thank those of you who have sent their thoughts and prayers and their sympathies over Honey's loss. I know I've broadcasted since then, but it's kind of been few and far in between. And I know after that all happened, it was kind of hard for me to actually think of anything else. So I haven't really been. That's part of the reason I stopped broadcasting as much, because that kind of took the wind out of my sails. If anything, it kind of taught me to, hate to say it, but it kind of taught me to be more attentive to my dog's surroundings. It was just looking back, it was a lapse in judgment and just something I wish could have been avoided, but, all it takes is a minute to lose sight of what you're doing, and, unfortunately it cost the dog its life. But I'm not gonna hide from it. I'm not going to deny that that's the way it went down, but that's because that's what happened. Uh, Momentary negligence. Um, Unfortunately, you know, it was something I couldn't, you know, avoid after it happened. You know, it was Kimi. Kimi's his name. Kimi. Kimi. I'm sorry. I had it close to it. Mike's dog's name is Kimi. Yeah, Kimi. Your opponent is around here somewhere. I think Scotty might have a good shot against Kimi because Kimi's a wolf dog, but I think Scotty's got a good shot against him because Kimi's kind of a softy. Sorry, Mike. Momentary brain fart because I'm an old geezer. I'm gonna grab a Coke. All right, folks, we're back. Cheers. Today, it says I'm sharing a Coke with a friend, so that means Chris and Mike Medea, this one's for you. As I was saying, you know, just if I learned anything from losing Honey, it was just, you know, to be more mindful of where your dog is, because that was, you know, it was my own fault, and I take 110% responsibility. I miss that dog terribly, but you know, I got a puppy now. Her name's Annie, and she's a great dog. I got a lot of work to do with her. She's a puppy, so you know, she's still having accidents around the house a little bit here and there, but she's getting a little bit better. But it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication, and pretty soon I'll be able to take her on walks and take her to job sites if I end up going with Walt anytime soon. I wouldn't say that's going to happen too often, though. Good. Ooh. I share a Coke with my friends. I love you guys. You know, you're like my family. Oh, I'd like to send a shout out to the Godfather over in, you know, I'm pretty sure he's in one of his many homes around the country. Mr. Dominic Medea, who's probably watching this with his wonderful wife Doreen. Two of my favorites. We all love those people. Is that little homo Anthony Betts watching? Or is his wife grounding him from the TV? Actually, I like Anthony, but everyone knows it. But that I said that because I want to make that into like a segue into my next discussion, a real discussion here. As everyone knows, I am a professional wrestling fan. I've been watching for a lot more years than I'd like to admit. And I say this because most anyone that watches, you know, probably people that don't are well aware of what's going on with Terry Bollea, or as wrestling fans know him, Hulk Hogan. Apparently, he went on a racially motivated tirade over somebody that his daughter Brooke was dating at one time, and used some very profane language. Shit. Did I just lose customers? Uh-oh, shit. No! Anyway, thank you. Ha ha ha! I like my hair too, but you're not allowed to like my hair, Tyler. Or Taylor, sorry. Anyway, apparently Hulk Hogan went on a racially motivated tirade and used the N-word a few dozen times, and some other stuff happened, and it got really ugly really quick. What I'd like to know is what makes Hulk Hogan's situation any different than Vince McMahon calling John Cena the N-word, in conversation in front of Booker T. Obviously everyone knows Booker T, if you're a professional wrestling fan, is a black wrestler. And Vince McMahon referred to John Cena as the N-word, using N-I-double-G-A instead of E-R at the end. That's how he said it. So, and it was funny because I was talking to somebody about this the other day, before everything got leaked about this situation with Hulk Hogan. How come it's okay for that word to be used by, and this is actually another black guy that I was talking about this with, and I asked him, how come it's okay for another black person to use that word, to other black people, but, when somebody else uses it of another race, it's wrong. I mean, you'd think if you can, oh crap, the cat's fighting with the dog again. But anyway, me personally, I can admit that me and my friends, both black and white, we call each other that all the time, and it's like, nobody thinks anything of it. One of the guys I used to work with who also watches the show is one of those people. Before he, unfortunately left the team at McDonald's, I was joking with him and a couple other guys at the counter, on one of my last nights in lobby, and I used that word, and it was like, no one cared. I just don't understand how people can get all bent out of shape out of what words people use these days. When you have situations like what's going on with the scumbag Jenner family, Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner, whatever you want to call them, and what's going on with Bill Cosby, who is another scumbag. What business is of anybody? Why do you have to bring these tapes? What's so big and bad? What's so big? Fuck. Who's this? Yay! I know. Cool. Happy birthday, Lynn. Anyway, why does everyone have to pay attention to what's going on with everybody else in the world? Why does it have to get to a point where people get pissed off and threaten to boycott this and that and whatever and whatnot before people realize, hey, what the fuck? I'm out of bounds. I don't understand it. It makes me sick. It's beyond, the world's getting way too PC for me. PC being politically correct for those who don't, understand abbreviation or much less speak the English language. It bothers me. It really does, I'm not condoning Hulk Hogan's situation. I'm not condoning him using the N-word, but I'm not going to crucify him for it, How come in most work situations, I can guarantee you, no one else would lose their job over using that word. I can guarantee you, using people, like I've advocated for in the past, people like myself, people with disabilities or whatever, I can guarantee you if someone walked up to me or any of my coworkers, whether they're people with disabilities or not, and called them a retard or something, they wouldn't lose their job. Nor should they, to be honest with you. What the fuck is freedom of speech for? You know? People say, oh, freedom of speech, it should, you know, you lose that right when you go to work. No, why? Oh, look at the cat and the dog fighting again. You know. I don't have a problem with people, me personally, I don't have a problem with people saying words that don't affect me. And to be honest with you, I'm one of those people, most any word, vulgar or not, doesn't affect me. They're words. I'm a firm believer sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You know why? Because they're just words. You let it go through one ear and out the other. We're fucking adults. It's about high time these people realize that. If you can't take what's being said to you, maybe you shouldn't work out in the world. Maybe you shouldn't go out into the community. Just stay at home and just fucking vegetate. It's bullshit. Where does it stop? Before I'm going to break off this topic for a couple of seconds to acknowledge something that was posted a while ago. I'm not going to bring up the fight for 15 right now. No, I'm pissed off about that, and I'd rather not raise my blood pressure any more than it's been raised over the past couple weeks. But yeah. Can you not have a conversation with your buddies at a bar or at your house if you have them over or in public without some asshole recording it? You think it's worth going up? Me personally, I'm one of those people where if you can't worry about what's going on in your own life, I don't need you in mine. Period. And that's the end of that. That would, excuse me, I cannot take whining. I cannot take pissing and moaning and bitching. Oh, he called me a retard. He called Joe a cripple. He called Tyrone and the N-word. I'm not going to say it on the air. That's one word I'm not going to use on the air. When does it end? Does it have to get to a point where people march in the street and act like they probably in the comfort of their own home? Come on. Me personally, I think people get offended because they're not the one using the language. Or they're just assholes and they have nothing better to do. And that bothers me. We can't be grown adults and have, we can't sit down over a beer or whatever and, bust each other's balls without some asshole going public with something that was said between guys, between posting it on YouTube or sharing it over a Facebook feed. Even if it's not a video, it could be text that they were writing down or whatever. It has to go somewhere where it needs not to go. And that bothers me. And people wonder why I'm one of those people where I'm very open about when I go out, to my friends. Very rarely anymore do you see me post, hey, I'm going out for a beer today. That's just an example, or I'm going here. I don't even want people to know I'm going for a soda for lunch or for breakfast or for a coffee. I really don't want people knowing my business. If I want you to know my business, I'll tell you it. I look at Facebook and I say, this is my time to play around. This is my tool to let what's on my mind out without worrying about what's going, what anybody else has to say, because I really don't care. If you got a problem with what I have to say or what anybody else has to say, separate yourself from the situation. Don't go out and act like a goddamn chicken shit and go over Facebook or social media and fucking post it all over the world for the people to see. Oh, and go to someone's work. Like I was talking to somebody the other day at work who was, you know, they had a situation where somebody that they were seeing had called in sick, yet one of their co-workers that that person had added on Facebook was lurking on their page and saw pictures of this particular person out for a beer, and it got back to the boss. Mind your own goddamn business. You know, that personally, I hate posting pictures on Facebook unless it's of my cat or my dog. I don't want people posting pictures of me. Whether it's with one of these, a coffee, or a beer. It doesn't matter. Unless I ask you to do it, don't. You know, I very seldom, even if I, you know, me personally, I don't post anything with my phone unless it's, you know, what I'll do is I'll text things to my email if I find it important enough. But I don't really know how to post to Facebook other than that. You know, other than using Scenery or whatever that program is that I use online. You know, because I really don't care. I don't care if people know my business, but I don't want people, you know, thinking that they have something over me. You know, because we're all adults here. You know, again, like I said, if you can't carry on a conversation, bust balls, and have a good time over a beer and some wings or whatever it is that you do, what are you doing? You know, if you're one of those people that are easily offended by the things people say, you should probably consider not going out in the public and ruining everybody else's good time. Whether you're drinking beers or sodas. I don't care if you're a drinker of alcoholic beverages or not. It doesn't make a difference. Everyone's entitled to a social life. And in that social life, they're entitled to let loose. Doesn't give them permission to go out and act like an asshole. But in their private life, it's a game. It's a different ball game. That's what their private life is. Is their private life. It has no business being, you know, posted over the media for the world to see. That stuff with Hulk Hogan that happened 8 years ago, it shouldn't be in the spotlight today. Come on. You know, and it's the same thing I said about the Clippers owner a couple years ago, Donald Sterling. Yeah, he's an asshole, he's a bigot, he's a scumbag. Come on. And that's another discussion I had with one of my buddies. One of the managers at work that, you know, that used to manage, one of the guys that used to be a manager at work, you know. How many white guys have used the, you know, that particular racial slur I'm not going to use over the air? You know, come on. If I took a poll of every listener on that is, you know, or viewer on this show, I would guarantee you 100% of you would say you've used that word. And just like 100% of the, you know, the African American audience would say they've used the word cracker or whatever. We've all used it. We've all said it, and it's, you know, even if we didn't mean it in a serious way, it was something we said. And these assholes that are going on in their way to make life miserable for everybody else because they're using words that they shouldn't be using, fuck them. You know, straight up like that. You're right. Fuck them. You know, and I'm a very, you know, I'm trying not to swear as much on the show, but there's certain subjects that piss me right off. And when I reach that point, it's hard for me to calm down. Because I look at it like this. You know, who am I? You know, and I'm going to say this. Who am I, meaning me and anybody else? Who am I to complain when someone uses the word cracker? Who am I to complain when someone uses the word cripple, retard, or whatever? We've all used those words. Whether you're a person with disabilities, a black guy, a white guy, or whatever, we've all used those words. Why does it need to be brought to the attention of the media when everyone's done it? Come on! We as a society need to grow up and quit acting like goddamn bitches. We're men. We're women. Grow up. Because I'll tell you what, the way this society is going, it's going to be beyond PC by the time I'm 50. You ain't going to be able to walk the corner just to get a breath of fresh air without someone pissing and moaning. Is that the world you want to live in? Is that the world people want to raise their kids in? I have a cat and a dog. And I don't know if I want to raise them in this type of world. And they're animals. But I think they have a better understanding of life than most of us people. And it's sad. It's gotten to a point where nobody wants to take accountability for their own behavior. So they look out for someone else to fuck up so they can bitch about theirs. And then you have assholes like that family in, where the hell is it? I'm going to look it up right now. That, you know. Oh man, what the hell was it? Restaurant owner kicks. What the fuck was it? Oh man, I'm gonna look it up now. Darla Neubauer, Marcy's Diner in Portland, Maine. You know, everyone wants to give her a bad rap, but I'll tell you this much. I work at McDonald's in Greece, New York. You know, and anyone that watches the show or will be watching this later on the feed, not on the feed, but anyone that'll be watching this later on the site page on Facebook or whatever knows this. I can't count on, if I could have 5 or 10 sets of hands, and, you know, I probably wouldn't be able to count on all those how many times I've seen similar situations and bit my tongue. There's been a couple times where the owner-operator of the company or whoever was working has stepped in. You know, I've stepped in once or twice, but it never got to that extreme where you start screaming because you're really, you know, that was the only problem that I have with that lady, was she, you know, used the profane language. You can't do that with babies around. But at the same time, if your kid is causing a disturbance in a restaurant full of people, whether it's an 8-person restaurant or a 70-person restaurant, whether you're paying McDonald's, you know, whether you're paying McDonald's fast food rate or you're paying top dollar bottle of wine at the table rate, whatever, you know, it doesn't make a goddamn difference. If your kid is making a scene in a building full of people, there's still people that want to eat and enjoy their meal in peace. Nobody needs to have their night out ruined because somebody is too lazy to parent their children. And it's like that. Straight up, honestly. Anyone that denies it probably never worked in the public, especially in food service. Oh, you called my kid an asshole. I'm not calling your kid an asshole. I'm saying you're an asshole for letting your kid's behavior get that far out in public. It should never get that far. It should never get to a point where a restaurant owner has to stop what she's doing because the customers are complaining. There's people that are paying top dollar to eat in your diner. And they can't eat in your diner because you have some whiny-ass little kid that's complaining because their parents ain't paying attention or something. I mean, Where does it end? Again, like I said about the other discussions, where does it end? When do people take responsibility? Why does it have to fall in the hands of everybody else to take responsibility when somebody else fucks up? It's not right. You know, mind you, at max capacity, McDonald's, at least my building, top about 50 people at most, I think, in the diner. I think, you know, and all the tables put together. You know, it's been full a few times. If there's 50, if that diner is full of people, you know, if the dining room at McDonald's is full of people, the lobby, as they call it at work, is full of people, and there's even one family that has a problem child or a husband and wife arguing or whatever, it causes a disturbance to everybody. You know, it's not right. It sets a bad precedent, and it makes the business look bad. And I don't want to hear about, oh, McDonald's food ain't that great for you. It don't make a difference. People ain't going to McDonald's because it's good to eat. They're going because they know it's fast, it's quick. They can eat their food and get the hell out and go where they need to be. But they can't do that when they have some kid whining in their ear. And I assume it's like that anywhere else. They can't enjoy themselves when they have kids whining in the diner that could be controlled, but their parents are too goddamn lazy to do it. And that's what it is. It ain't, oh, well, they were eating. You mean to tell me you were eating while everybody else in the diner was getting distracted because your kid was out of control? No, it don't work like that. Come on, take responsibility. You know, I've been out with my little brothers and sisters. I've been out with my nieces and nephews a lot. I haven't always been the person that's been responsible for taking care of them and whatnot, but I've been out in situations where I have been one of the people that was expected to take care of them. And if they know, partially because my brother Colin, or my brother Craig, or my sister Carrie, or my uncle, or my brother-in-law Ken, or my sister-in-law Rachel, or sister-in-law Amanda, you know, respectively, wouldn't tolerate that shit. They know better than to act like that in public. But I'm going to use them as a great example here. I don't care if you're my own family. Even at McDonald's, if I'm working and my own family's acting like that, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to be rude about it, but I'm going to treat you like a customer. You come into that building, you're a customer. I don't care if you're not. I don't care if you're eating, or I don't care if you're there for your food, or you're just there to get a quick Coke or whatever and go. Because there's a lot of people that do that because McDonald's Coke is awesome. But it don't matter. Eat, eat, eat. Oh, it's unique. Christopher Medina. Where's my phone? There you are. What are you doing? Why am I gotta turn off the emotes. There you go. That thing was bothering me.
Why are you talking with speaker to the entire house? Like Nick.
What?
You can hear that from the entire house.
So, you know, that's... Wow, what the hell is going on here? Huh. I don't know what that was going on. Mom and Dad are home. What's that?
Your mom and boys come home yet?
No. You know, it's just, it's very disturbing when people decide it's okay to act up in public and make excuses for it and put up a, you know, like I could probably look up my building right now and find a diatribe on Facebook from people with bad situations that have happened in our building. You know, I know for a fact there's been a couple that I know of, none of which Ron mentioned or nothing, because I try not to be combative. You know, that's the one thing you got to remember. You can't be combative. But at the same time, there's a time where you got to step in as either as a business owner or as an employee of the company and say, hey, look, enough's enough. And when it gets to that point where people are being denied their right to have their meal in peace, that's not just a problem with the owner-operator. That's not just a problem with the people, eating. That's a problem with the employees, too. Because the bottom line is, like I said, nobody should be denied their right to eat in peace or drink in peace. You expect hooting and hollering and screaming and act like an asshole in a bar. Shit, I'm guilty of that. But you shouldn't have to deal with that when you're out to have a meal with your family. Period. And now the only reason I brought up that analogy is because that analogy is a more appropriate analogy for me, because that's the way I live. I'm old enough to go into bars. I'm old enough to pretty much go anywhere I want. Well, actually, I am old enough to go anywhere I want, because I'm over 18. I'm over 21. Excuse me. And cool. I'm broadcasting, man, bro. Thank you. Yeah. I'm putting myself in a position now. Now as far as my particular future is headed, now that I'm going to get off that particular topic, right? Because I'm starting to get, my voice is starting to go rough because, talking loud, I think what we need to do is get into a situation where we can, like I said, we got to get into a situation where we can better police ourselves before we police everybody else. Like I've said time and time again, I don't care what you do in public. I don't care what you say in public. I don't care what you say in private. Like I said, the sticks and stones will break my bones. Words will never hurt me. That's something that is very legit with me. I don't care what you have to say about me. I don't care how you feel about me. That's your opinion. You're entitled to that. And who am I to deny you how you feel? Who? I'm not God. And I don't want to be God. But I will say this. Yeah, you do what you got to do, bro, and you live your life. Yep. I'm going to figure out why my computer's making all this noise soon, so I ain't going to be broadcasting too much more. Another hour. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't going to let be. I ain't going to be able to broadcast another hour. My throat hurts. I might actually be cutting in a little bit. Seven 7460287 is the number. Call in your complaints, compliments, and suggestions. It says you're offline, but I think you're still watching if you say you are. You're watching on your big screen TV. How do you see this? Aha. Let me know. Ciao, mamma mia. Oh. Ratatouille. Yeah. Crushed by the light of the Lord. What the hell was that? I don't know what that was. But I think someone may have... Oh, wow. Get out of here with that. Ouch. I had something stuck in my throat. Now it's gone. You still watching me? Well, ladies and gentlemen, ha ha! 2022. I was gonna go till 10 o'clock, but I'm gonna go for a few more minutes yet. I'm live, homeboy and homegirl, but you're not allowed to be on because I can't have you on my show. You might cause a riot, drink a, you know. Sorry about that. You might drink my stock of cokes. You know. Scotty's around here somewhere making all that noise, wherever he is. Pain in the balls. Yep, Scotty, I'm aware you're here. Meow, meow, meow. Stupid ass cat. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I love you too, Scotty. I love you. Okay. I love you, Jamie Lynn Riley. My girl. That's my friend. That's not my girlfriend, but she's a friend that's a girl. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who's watching, but thank you for tuning back in. Oh. Yeah. I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been a very special broadcast. Share the link to this show. I want this to go viral. No one needs to go viral, but I do. I don't care if it does or not. But again, let me rehash. Next week, I'm not broadcasting Saturday because I got to watch a concert. Unless I broadcast at like 6:30, which I don't want to do that. You know, I might have people over, but I don't know if I'm going to have them over for a broadcast early or whatnot. But Metallica's playing at 8 o'clock, so there's going to be no drinking or anything involved. So that's one of my big rules that I've always stuck with. Whenever I watch a Metallica set on the computer, this is what the crew drinks. This guy right here, or Coke or Pepsi, because I like watching my shows. Yeah. Thank you, sir. May I have another? No, I'm done. I'd like to think that my show is broadcasted all over the planet. Yeah, I love you too. What the hell is this? Sorry. Sorry to hear. Sorry to hear. We miss you. Come back soon. Don't get hit by a bus, please. We like your viewership. Have a good night. No, I'm not off. I'm not getting off here. Just was telling someone it's leaving. Good night. And that bus comment I made is an inside joke between the two of us. Shit. So, football season. The preseason starts in 2 weeks. Yay. I love preseason football. I'm actually excited to watch the Bills this year. I think they're going to be pretty damn good. I like this. I like Rex Ryan's style, and I like his energy. I think he's got good things planned for Buffalo, and I think he's going to do it because, honestly, I like his energy. You know, anyone that could come and, you know, make an impact like he did, you know, at his opening press conference, he did, obviously. That was amazing. He likes, you know, yeah, he didn't accomplish much with the Jets, but you know what? Neither have the last several coaches, because the Jets are terrible. That's one franchise that'll never go anywhere, at least for the rest of my lifetime, I'm pretty sure. They're not, the bottom line is people, screw Don Henley. Fuck you, get out of here. Fucking Don Henley. Joe Walsh was the best thing that ever happened to his career. I gotta read this. Greatest Southern Song Battle. Yeah. Not even interested. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Scotty. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, what I like to think is going to happen, since I was talking about Metallica, I'm going to tell you this right now. Next week, they're not playing any new music other than the song that they premiered last year in Argentina. Probably the Lords of Summer is my guess. I don't see them playing anything else. To be honest with you, I don't think they should. You know, the last several times they've done summer tours and played new songs, you know, half the songs have been scrapped. So, you know, and I think with the way that they keep releasing new copies of the Lords of Summer, I think they'll actually keep that song in the new album, or at least make it a single of some kind, which makes sense. Because at this point, if they're going to keep releasing singles, you know, that particular song, there's no need to scrap it at this point. Why? Because it's all over the internet at this point. They can't, you know, it's not like that song will ever disappear. And to be honest with you, it's better than probably most anything Metallica's put out in the last 20 years. You know, and I'm not saying that it's someone that hates any of the newer material. I mean, other than Saint Anger, I really can't think of too much Metallica that I hate. I'm one of the minority as far as the opinion of Load and Reload. Even some of Saint Anger, to be honest with you. I break it down like this. If I'm out with my buddies or whatever, and if I raise a lot of hell, so to speak, have a few beers and just mosh out or whatever, I'm gonna want to listen to anything from Kill 'Em All to Justice, and a handful of songs off Black, if even that. If I'm in the mood to just relax and sit around and have even if I'm not drinking or whatever, or just sit around, have a beer or two, and just veg. Load and Reload are okay. Whereas Saint Anger, I can't really put that in any category in its own, because it's just, I mean that album is loud. It is heavy, but it's hard really for me to put Saint Anger in a category. I mean, there's not really much that could be a saving grace for that album. The only thing that can, maybe if you're feeling down, but Saint Anger's a good album to have if you're, if you have trouble writing things down. It's got some material on there that can kind of knock on the door, push you. That's me knocking, by the way. I say knock on the door. It's kind of stuff that can, sort of get you to think. The songs like Unnamed Feeling, a song about a bunch of feelings you have. So it's the unnamed feelings. It's a bunch of feelings rolled into one, into one. And that album, I think has that vibe, the entire album. It might be heavy, but it's definitely not great by any means. But what's kind of turning me off to this particular new album by Metallica is the fact that they've been saying for the last the tour for Death Magnetic's been over for almost 5 years, but they've been saying for the last 3, since they've actually been working on it, it's coming out here, it's coming out there, and they keep giving different dates and times, and it's like, if you want it out this or here or there, just get in the studio, fucking knock it out and go there. Just get it out. But at this point in time, at 50+ years old, those guys, they're when you've reached Hall of Famer status and the top-selling heavy metal band in the history of the world. There's no real reason to be going out of your way to make a record every 2 years. I mean, and let's face it, even from Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning, there's a huge disparity in the creativity where, in Metallica's writings. I mean, in a good way, though. I mean, and from Ride the Lightning to Master of Puppets, you could see where they actually matured, and then Justice for All from Mastery, so it even saw even more maturity. And then the Black Album, when they got Bob Rock as their producer, you saw not only were they matured, but where they, there's a difference between maturity and growth in music. Maturity, and it's also the same with writing in general. If you're a good writer, you can, and you've been doing it all your life, you know where you excel and you know where you can't. You know where you can go, and you know where your boundaries are. But at the same time, you also know that there's certain do's and do nots. And with Metallica, I think they've learned that they're, with Load and Reload, I think they realized, hey, you know what, this whole blues sound ain't for us. And to be honest with you, and I've heard this from more than one person that follows the band, Metallica is one of those bands where you're, when you think of Metallica, you don't really think of albums like Load and Reload and creativity. You think of albums like Master of Puppets, which is one of the greatest albums in the history of music, period. But at the same time, it's, it's hard if you understand music and you understand creativity and how it works. You're not going to slam them for releasing something like Load and Reload because it was worth it at that time. That's what they wanted to do. Let's face it, when you've sold millions of copies of each, when you've sold millions upon a couple 100 million records overall around the planet, it's kind of hard for people to take you seriously when you're releasing songs about, being, basically with teenage angst that's not there anymore. I mean, it's hard, I mean, me personally, I know there's stuff I could have written, as a, just poetry 10, 15 years ago that if I tried to write it now, I'd look like a complete moron. Mind you, there's some stuff, if I would have written it 10 or 15 years ago, it would have surprised a lot of people. I know I'm a writer. I know I'm a great writer, but but that doesn't mean that I'm interested in writing about something that I know nothing about. That's at this point. Why write about being a poor boy when you're selling out 300,000 seat stadiums in Europe pretty much in 40 minutes, which that's something that they did in Russia about 2 years ago. That's just an example. There's plenty of other artists like that. But when you're selling out even these 13,000, 20,000, 40,000, these smaller venues, whether you're an in-house stadium or a in-house hockey rink or football stadium or whatever, it's hard for people to take you seriously when it comes to releasing music like that. Unless you're talking about these people that argued, oh, look at MC Hammer, he sold out Wembley Stadium in 1990. Now he couldn't sell out the Electric Factory in Philadelphia, that's a real venue. It's like our Penny Arcade over there. People that are my age would know what that is. 300 people at the very most. I mean, he's lucky he got back on, financial good graces because he invested his money after he, got out of bankruptcy and he, got with the right people. But still, musically he can't go anywhere because there's nobody that cares about what he does. So he does something completely different. Or you get a guy like Dr. Dre who, is the first billionaire in the history of rap music, you know, and he's one of those artists where I can't really jive with a lot of the new stuff he's coming out with because I don't think he really needs to be releasing music. But my throat's starting to close off. Damn it, But if you can be 50 years old and still, doing what you do best and making music, or he's actually his best work came as a producer. When you're, his career had a reinvention when Eminem came out. That's another great example. You know, he made himself a billionaire and made another man a millionaire. That speaks volumes of how he invests himself. And it's amazing. Some of the smartest producers in the world are rap musicians: Timbaland, Ludacris, Dr. Dre. I think MC Ren was for a while. MC Ren was also in NWA with Dr. Dre. So I think Ice Cube he's a producer part time, but he, unfortunately for him, he didn't really invest his money as wisely as Dre did. So he's still only a high millionaire, but as he got older and got out of the gangster rap scene, he actually made a little bit more money. Which, when you quote unquote age out of a genre, it kind of, you either have a chance to reinvent yourself or, do something else totally with your career, as long as you know what you're doing. But obviously, Dre decided to make his own headphones, produce some other big name artists. Oh, shit. God damn, that hurt. Something just flew into my ear. That hurt. I don't know who's watching, but thank you. Usually I know who's watching because it flashes across the screen real quick, but I missed it. I know there's someone watching on a TV that's not actually logged on to YouTube. Thank you for watching. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching tonight. But my throat's had enough, and I've had enough. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend. And I will see you all Monday night. Thank you. Peace.